Hello everyone, hope everyone's doing well. I hope your first week of July, I guess, yeah, it's only the first week of July. Well, when you'll see it'll be the 9th, but today is the 8th. So yeah, hopefully your first week of July is going well. Hope everyone's doing well. I don't know if anybody's heard, now there's like monkeypox. I'm like, we haven't even got COVID under control, so it's a little crazy. But I'm here with another discography compilation review, not compilation, discography review. This time it's for Lil Kim, the queen bee, the queen bitch herself, the queen of rap, whatever you want to call her. Also, I decided to be in the corner again because we haven't been in the corner in a while. So, I'm going to try and not make this video too long because she does have 5 albums, which was a lot of work. I will say it will be a while before I do another discography review for someone because it was a lot, especially for her because some of her albums were like very long. So, yeah, it was a lot going on. But we're going to start off with her debut album. It's called Hardcore. It was released November 12th, 1996. I would have been like 5 because I was born in 91. That would have been literally like almost a month after my 5th birthday too, probably. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you the overall vibe. I'm gonna give you my favorite songs. I'm gonna give you my favorite lyrics, and I'm gonna give you my overall opinion on it. So the overall vibe of this album is mafia, crime, sexually upfront, luxurious, hardcore, no pun intended, but kind of pun intended. It's called Hardcore. And my favorite song, so I try to do like top 4. I had to cut because I'm trying to make this video not too long, but let's get into it. So I try to do 4 for each one. Some of them I didn't like as much as the other ones, but you'll see. So of course a Big Mama thing is the classic. I love the sample and how much bravado she comes with right away because it was the first album after the introduction, which was very interesting. It's a kind of a porn kind of introduction, where I'm guessing Kim is starring in the porn. Anyway, I don't know. It's just what the introduction said. But yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks by her in general. She shows how sexually confident she is and she's bold with it. So I really love that song. And some of the lyrics are going to be in my favorite lyrics part. And then my other favorite song was Drugs featuring B.I.G. I forgot to put B.I.G. was featured on there. Kim's verse is all great and witty, and Biggie is great in the chorus, and the chorus is very creative. Showing off how great she is and sophisticated style-wise she is versus other women. Of course, also it's about sex. Of course. So Biggie's basically saying like, oh, you're like drugs, you know, you're like addictive, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get with somebody they real addictive, so that's what it is. I feel like the camera is like super close. Alright, there we go. Let's back up a little bit. But yeah. And then third favorite song is Queen Bitch. It's a classic. It's Kim at her best. I think this is the best her flow has ever sounded as far as I've heard. This is before I listened to any of the other albums. But you know what? I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to stand on that opinion. Okay? She delivered on this track 100,000%. That's what I wrote. And I love how she killed this track. She made it her own from Biggie giving her pointers. And this is another one of my favorite songs from her in general. So, of course. And then Not Tonight. I had never heard the original Not Tonight. I only heard the remix Ladies Night. I know. Don't shoot me. I know. I did not hear it before. But I love that she's assertive. She's assertive. That's what I meant to put. About what she wants sexually. When she was younger, she was shy about her desires. But I relate to her feeling disappointed, so now she feels like... So now I feel the same way. So I said never settle for less. For less, always be vocal about what you want. Women, if he's not doing it right, if he's not good, dump them. It ain't worth it. I mean, I'm not saying sex is the most important thing, but it is an important thing for a relationship. Y'all, I'm looking in the camera, but I'm just seeing stuff. It just looks weird in the camera. I have a little rabbit. But anyway. But yeah, I agree with that. Like, even though I feel like she was very young. She said, I watched the interview, like part of the interview when she came out, she said she was like 16, 17. And then by the time she was 21, I think after, now I've heard mixed things. This album was supposed to come out only when she turned 18. But then she was saying after the album stuff, she was like 21 and a multimillionaire, so it was a lot for her. And she was just a child, you know, which I feel like a lot of people should think about themselves that way between 18 and like 22. Like, you're still pretty much a child. But no, I was like, I'm grown, I can do this, I can do that. But honestly, I'm 30 and I still feel like I don't have everything together. So definitely, if you're that young, you may have everything together, but you may not, and I think that's okay. It's okay to like not it's okay to not feel like you have it under control. You know what I mean? It's okay, because you're just coming into your adulthood. All right, and then my favorite lyrics. One of them is from No Time, which I did put on my favorites, but I don't guess it would be my favorites because this is one of my favorite lines by her. Nothing make a woman feel better than Berettas and Amarettas, but Lettas and mad cheddars, chilling in the bins with my amigos, trying to stick a nigga for his pesos. So that's one of my favorites. And then another one from No Time is, yeah, I'm Mama, Miss Ivana, usually rock the Prada, sometimes Gabbana, took you for your cream and your riches, Zaza Gabor, Demi Moore, Prince Diane, and all them rich bitches. So that's from No Time. I feel like I didn't realize what Berettas and Amarettas were, but I just thought it sounded good. And their guns, which, I mean, hey, it's hardcore. She's trying to be sexy and hardcore. Yeah, that's her thing. And then from Queen Bitch, I love, lyrically, I dust them off like Pledge, hit hard like sledgehammers, bitch with that platinum grammar. I am a diamond cluster hustler, Queen Bitch, supreme bitch. And then another one is got buffoons eating my pussy while I watch cartoons. I mean, what else could you ask for? Get in the head while you watching cartoons? That sounds fun to me. And then from Big Mama Thing, I used to be scared of the dick, now I throw lips to this shit, handle it like a real bitch. Heather Hunter, Janet Jack me, took in the bud, yes, ass what? And then, can you tell by the diamonds on my ring that's how many times I want to come? 21, and another one, and another one, and another one, 24 carats, nigga. Everybody wants to orgasm. And then the last one was from Drugs. Ladies and gents, your dopest host presents extravagance in lady frame, leaving cum stains. Niggas remain in awe when I bring a Dillinger, throw it to your jaw and never a flaw. Never before have you seen magnificence in a black princess. That's from Drugs. So that's a cool line. So my overall opinion is this was a great debut album for Kim. I think it showcased her talent and her bravado very well. I think the album started off memorable from the intro to the final track. So I feel like it just, cemented her legacy. Even though the last track wasn't my favorite, I think it was something with Junior Mafia in it. But I think it was alright. But I think the storyteller was done very well. I was surprised by a crush on you, only having little C's. And I wonder why they couldn't swap it in the album with that one from the video that everybody knows. Because I never heard this version. But she said, I guess in the interview, that she was sick, she was pregnant. I know she got pregnant by Biggie and that she had an abortion. But she did not mention the abortion part. She just said she was pregnant, she was sick. So she couldn't finish the track. Or finish the album. But other than that, and some of them that weren't my favorite, I give this album a 9 out of 10. Yeah. I feel like Kim came onto the scene strong with this album. From the first track, after the intro, to the very end. There are also many memorable lines in the album, so it's a classic. So now we're going to go to her... before I move on. So I decided to write the poems so that I can just do each poem with each album. So I wrote Landay style poems. They're apparently mainly by Afghan women, and they usually deal with war, love, some things along those natures. It's a 2-line poem. So the first line, it has 22 syllables in the whole thing. The first line is 9 syllables, and the second line is 11 syllables. So I feel like that would be easy because, I have 5 albums to get through. So I'm going to read the poem. It's inspired by the song Drugs with Lil Kim featuring Biggie. It's called Blue Princess. Black princess, the queen, the only one that you should love and lavish with blue hundreds. I feel like it was appropriate for that song. So yeah. So now let's move on to her sophomore album, which was released June 27th, 2000. So the vibes are mafia again, crime, Y2K, dedication, love / rivalry. Even though there's one song on here that I don't really like, but it's called I Bet You She Don't Love You or something like that, or She Don't Love You. And basically she's trying to be in competition with another girl about how great her sex is versus the other girl. So that's why I got that vibe. Okay, so my favorite songs were Little Drummer Boy featuring CeeLo and Redman. It's a very great storytelling and very ear-catching opening song. All the features held their own and kept you captivated. I love the drum beat, and it made it seem like you were watching a movie, like you're watching like this whole court case and her, trying to defend herself and stuff. So that was really cool. And then Suck My Dick. That's the name of the song. I love how Kim is so aggressive on this track. I love the back and forth on the chorus. So I was looking on Genius at the lyrics. I'm not sure who the man was in the chorus, but I don't think they specified. But it shows women shouldn't let men talk to them any old kind of way, and should disrespect them back if they come at women wrong. So like, she's saying that niggas ain't shit, and if she was a guy, she'd tell him suck her dick. That kind of vibes. And then Aunt Dot is very vivid storytelling. It took me so long until I became an adult to realize it was about her period. LOL. As a child, even though, I don't know if at that age I would have already had my period when I heard this. Well, technically I was a child, so I shouldn't have been listening to this, but I don't remember when I actually got the album. But, I don't like 9, give or take 10. But anyway, it's a very creative song, and I love little Shanice, and her verses were so cute, and I wonder who was supposed to represent her baby she almost had with Biggie. That's what I was thinking. And then I want to talk about Shanice's verses. So I've heard 3 different explanations. One is that Shanice's parents didn't want her to curse, so Kim had to pitch her voice to be Shanice. And then 2, what was the other one? One was parents didn't want her to curse. Oh, and then the other one was that she had a stutter, so she couldn't do the verse. And then from Lil Kim herself in an interview, Shanice fell asleep while in the studio because she was like 8 to 10. She was in that age range, which I think is crazy because Lil Kim says that the first part of the verse is her, so the little girl is cursing in the first part of the verse. But hey, kids curse. It happens. Okay, so the last song that was one of my favorites was Don't Mess With Me. I love the storytelling of the song. You get a great picture of the relationship Kim is talking about. And I love how it shows relationship going from good to bad and all the way through. And then her ex wanted to come back, which, sometimes that happens. It doesn't happen with me. I've never had an ex be like, I want to come back to you. So it's foreign to me, but I know it happens. And I love the Pat Benatar sample in the chorus because it's like, Dream Maker, love taker, don't you mess around me. Y'all know that song. You might know that song. I don't know if you know the song. But yeah, that's the song that's sampled. Also, some of the genius explanations were supposed to be her relationship with Biggie, but a lot of the stuff she said didn't make sense because he's like, oh, it wasn't take long before you made me your wife. She wasn't the wife. She was the mistress. And then she had, and this might have been before her and Faith Evans actually made up. I just want to say that. And then she said, Oh, just to think I was about to have a baby for you, and then some bitch you was fucking said she was having one too, even though Faith was the wife. She ain't just any old woman. So anyway, but yeah, those are my favorite songs. And then my favorite lyrics were from Aunt Dot. Can we all just get along and make hit songs? Bitches all up in my ass like a thong. If this was a show, y'all hoes would get gonged. For the longest time as a child, I thought she said bombed, which I feel like would make sense. Their friends were trying to kill her, you know. Anyway, but let me keep going. Because if it's on, then it's on. Bring it on. What the fuck you waiting for? Come on, let's get it on. What? What's taking you so long? I had plans for your future to bring back your head like Medusa. That was really interesting. Because I forgot they said the god's name, but he killed Medusa basically and brought her head back. And then from the little drummer boy, pardon me, your honor, may I address the bench? They're trying to assassinate me like they did Larry Flint. Excuse my persona. I may be hardcore, but I'm not Jeffrey Dahmer. I feel like it's probably supposed to rhyme, but I didn't make it rhyme. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So my overall opinion, so I felt like I would have been nostalgic about this album because I think it was the first Lil Kim album I bought, but I wasn't. And I think it was because I hadn't listened to the songs in like a long time. So I like the Versatility album, but I also feel like the Versatility album was a weak point because it kind of made it like unfocused. There were so many different aspects, tones, subject matters that the album was all over the place. So from a storytelling point of view, it wasn't cohesive for the whole album. Where am I at? She did have some experimental sounds that was fun to hear, like I'm Human and Right Now. Those were more Y2K sounding, so that was really interesting. And I wish the album had ended on Hold On, which was like supposed to be the dedication to Biggie. The album's called Notorious K.I.M. or Notorious Kim, however it's supposed to be said. Obviously, right? That would have been a great point to be like. But they didn't do that. So it ended with the experimental I'm Human, which I was like, girl, why don't you just flip that? But I will say, this isn't like later in my review, but like apparently a lot of the songs got leaked, so she had to remake 11 songs and delay the album, so that might have been why it was kind of all over the place. And then she had Grace Jones on there, which is legendary. And I wish Grace Jones was not just in the chorus. I wish she had her own like verse or something, but that's all they gave her. And then also I felt like if the album was supposed to be about her and Biggie's relationship, I feel like it should have been like more focused, you know what I mean? But of course, I know they were leaks and a delay, so. But with that said, I still enjoyed the album, but I would give it a 6 out of 10. I thought I would like it more than Hardcore, but I think Hardcore was a lot more cohesive and focused. Of course, it's still dear to my heart, because I think that was the first, if I didn't buy it, I took it from my mom. The first Lil Kim album I had, basically. So, the poem that I wrote is called Scorched. And it's inspired by Don't Mess With Me. Don't Mess With Me. Of course, by Lil Kim. But here we go. Don't burn the bridges that you built when you had nothing, because it will fall on you. It's true. Alright, let's go to her third album, which is called La Bella Mafia, which means the beautiful mafia, and it's based off of a movie, which I'm gonna be honest, I skimmed the plot a lot. I didn't look at like what it really was about. But basically, I think it's about like a mafia family and betrayal and, you know, mafia stories. So it was released March 4th, 2003. And the overall vibe is like Bollywood. They have a lot of, I don't know if a lot is the right word, but they have a few Bollywood samples, which is really interesting, or like Indian samples. The grind, you know, hard work, grinding out in the streets, partying, and then basically her being the queen bee, being the queen of rap. Yeah. So my favorite songs were Doing It Way Big. I love the lyrics and the beat is very interesting, and always honoring Biggie even after all this time, which she does even in her most current album, which we're gonna get to, which is, you know, the last album. And the song has very luxurious vibes. And I like the dice rolls of the song. It felt like I was in an international casino, like, you know, she's like saying, "Come on, dice," and then you hear the dice rolling. And then "Shake Your Bum Bum," which features Little Shanice. I feel like it's actually her this time, because there are no curse words. And I said, oh, it does have like an international sample, which is really interesting. I really liked it. And I love the back and forth her and Little Shanice had at the end. And I find it funny Shanice didn't curse on her verses this time, because they had her saying whatever, not dot, lol. But she doesn't even say shake your ass. And when I first she said shake, I like to shake my anus, which is like, you couldn't have her just say butt. I feel like you're supposed to rhyme with something else in the next line, but it's just weird. And then the next favorite song was, it's like When Kim Say, in parentheses, Can You Hear Me Now, featuring Missy Elliott. Once again, I love the beat, and Missy Elliott is always great as a feature artist. I really like her. Kim is talking her shit and is very witty per usual. I love the Can You Hear Me Now, like, you know, Verizon, Can You Hear Me Now? Tagline used in the song. So that was really interesting. And then Heavenly Father, very heartfelt song, shows how much she wants to support and love after giving her all to others. Also wishes to have Biggie back. Basically, she wants Biggie back alive because she can't share her success with him. They try to keep her crew together, like I guess Junior Mafia, but she was unsuccessful. Right. So my favorite lyrics were from Shake Your Bum Bum. Sean Paul dime, keep my hair done all the time. Even got a manicurist in the booth while I rhyme. That was cute. Like, I feel like that's something that she would actually have, like kind of a diva thing, having a manicurist in the booth with her. And then it said, and then another line I liked from the song was initials on our jackets like the Vern and Shirley. Kids rock my Queen Bee logo like a Powerpuff Girl. I thought that was cute. And I do think her logo was kind of cute. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a bee with a crown on it. Okay, so then in Heavenly Father, I like this line. It's kind of long, but this is one of my favorite lyrics. They say the closest to you be the ones that sneak up behind you and stick the knife through you. That's why I keep my friends to a minimum. Check for the ones with the venom on their tongue. Cause niggas is snakes. They hugs be fake. Steal from their best friend at his own wake. So that was one of the lines I like. And then the other line was these next few lines is to you women beaters. Last nigga I was with, straight fucking loser. Niggas think cause you give them your heart, they can dissect it and rip it apart. Which she did have some domestic violence issues. And she had to get nose jobs because of that, which I feel like is very sad. You know, unfortunate. And I think on either this album or the next one, she does talk about her plastic surgery, but I feel like she talks about it between Notorious Kim and La Belle Mafia as well. So, my overall opinion, I own this CD as well. And I'm very surprised because I think it was better than Notorious Kim, which I didn't think that would happen. I feel like it was a lot more cohesive sounding overall. All the songs make sense together. Kim was really putting her all into these songs. The features were all really great. There were like more songs that I liked that I didn't put on. I like Magic Stick, which was the single Magic Stick. Who's the other one? The Jump Off. I was about to call it Top Off, and I was like, that's not right. That's the Beyonce song. The Jump Off. She had other ones that were really great. Yeah, so I didn't mention some of the favorite songs, and I really enjoyed most of the songs. I would give this album an 8 out of 10 because it's so well put together with a lot of songs and beats were memorable. So yeah. So, I did my poem inspired by Shake Your Bum Bum featuring Lil Shanice. It's called Money Dance. Hypnotize you with the way I dance. Let go of your cash if you like what you see. So you're trying to get that money. Alright, so now we're going to her fourth album. It's called The Naked Truth. It was released September 27th, 2005. So when I was looking this up, it was also released at the same time. The same week she was going to do her 1 year and 3 days for perjury. She had a trial. She lied. Got charged with perjury. Yeah. Okay, so the overall vibe is street cred, because, you know, she ain't snitch. So that's why she was going to jail. Or, well, prison. Well, I thought jail, you had to be there at least less than jail's less than a year, so I guess it would be prison. But a year and 3 days, I couldn't keep her in jail. I don't know. But yeah, she's about to serve her sentence. So there's street cred, there's loyalty, sex, of course, being rich, being the original rap queen slash bragging about everything that she's done for rap and stuff. So that's in there. So my favorite songs are Spell Check. It's very strong. First song, it was very creative and clever. Kim comes for blood against Junior Mafia for testifying against her. I think it was, I know it was Little C's and I think one other person, but definitely Little C's. But I mean, they've made up. So, I just want to say that. And I have no idea what 50 Cent had did to her, but she wasn't happy about him. I know now what he's done to her. I feel like when I looked into it, I saw more recent things that he had done, but maybe there was some behind the scenes. But, you know, he was trolling. That's what 50 Cent does. I don't really like 50 Cent as, like, a person, because he just trolls people and, like, basically bullies them. But, yeah, so I understand why she didn't like that. And I see this tweet all the time, when people are like, I can understand why he got shot 9 times. This is not to condone or encourage violence, but I also understand. Okay, so the next one was one of the singles. It was called Shut Up Bitch. I really love this song. I like how she addresses all the rumors and destroys her haters in her verses. And I like how she was able to address everything and defend herself. You know, talking about her nose, talking about her boob, talking about how she writes, how she doesn't, you know. They're like, what does the chorus go? It goes, oh, she must be out on jail. She done fucked up now. She got this nose. She done got all the plastic surgery. Biggie wrote her rhymes. She didn't write her rhymes. You know, all these different things. So yeah, and I also love the beat, and I like Cat Williams. He's a funny guy, you know. Okay, All Good. So I love how she used the Biggie sample and how she continually honors him. She is the mistress for life. Okay. I love how she tells her life story here. I use the wrong here because I was probably doing this at like 2 in the morning, and doesn't regret anything because it came out all good for her, pun intended, this time, and well. And then Chronic featuring Snoop Dogg, a song about drugs featuring Snoop Dogg. Oh, well, I know he only does, as far as I know, he only smokes weed. I don't know about any other drugs, but of course, Snoop Dogg's on it. A song called Chronic. Very unique metaphor for her vagina, of course. It reminds me of her song Drugs with Biggie, and seems she likes sexual metaphors and drug metaphors. I like her thing. I think it's interesting. Of course, Snoop Dogg's a great feature on a song called Chronic. So my favorite lyrics were from Spell Check. It goes, I'm the L-I-L to the M-I-M and not B-I-G-R-I-P, baby. I rep BK and the NYC, don't no bitch do it like I D. And since 9-6, a chick been on TV like MTV and BET, so TRL and 106. Ooh, man, it's hard to do. Okay, then there's another line that I like from Spell Check. Okay, here we go. First lady at the top of RA. I'm on my TOE getting that DOE BIGMOMMA. No info for the DEA. Federal agents mad because I'm flagrant, tapped my cell, and the phone in the basement. I just took that last part from Biggie. That's hard to say, you know. But anyway, here we go. And then from All Good, basically the chorus, it's all good if you're driving or riding the bus. It's all good when the struggle and times are tough. It's all good, don't matter. You can ride with us. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good if you hustling and hugging the block. It's all good. Working 9 to 5, punching the clock. It's all good. It don't matter how you get that guap. It's all good. It's all good. I thought that was cool. So I felt like this album was like Notorious K.I.M., which was all over the place. I will say overall, I enjoyed it mostly. You know, I think some of the songs though, she was trying to prove like how tough she was. And I was like, ma'am, we get it. LOL. You're going to jail. We know. You're very tough. And the other times the sexual songs were a lot too, even though, I mean, I know that's what she talks about. But you know, the subject matter wasn't too different for there to be like multiple songs about it. You need like 3 songs about the same thing, about dream outfit snitching on you and about sex. And this album was long, and I feel like it didn't really need to be. It was 22 songs, including the skits, and the skits were like, some of them were like 2 to 3 minutes long, and I was like, girl, what do you need these long skits for? So I could have felt like it could have been a lot more focused and a lot sharper. So I give it a 5 out of 10. The length was drawn out, and some of the songs were like beating a dead horse of the same subjects. Okay, so my poem for this album is called Queenbee. Queen Bee, basically, but I spelled it out. Of course, this is by spell check. Do I got to spell it out for Y-O-U? I'm the Queen, so you better bow down to me. That's basically it for that. So her recent album which is actually on my birthday, October 11, 2019, is called 9. Just number 9. It's her favorite number. So the vibes I got were luxurious, ragging, street cred again. Why does autocorrect hates when I put cred, so just put red, but I know what I meant. Cred and then auto-tune. There's so much auto-tune. We'll get into that. My favorite songs were Too Bad. I hate the auto-tune, but it was very catchy, especially the I don't want to stay, I don't want to go part. You know, I don't want to stay, I don't want to go. It reminds me of some other song, but I can't remember what song. I could see it being a cool club type song, so I could see it having a fun time song appeal. And then You Are Not Alone, I feel like the song's very melodic. I like that it's ominous to Kim's haters, that they can't keep her down, and very different structure than the other songs. It makes it more interesting. And then Found You, featuring OT Genesis and City Girls. I really like how they use the sample. They use Miss New Booty. I'm like, Miss, I found you, Miss New Booty. They use that kind of thing. It's very interesting sexual song for the metaphors and the way they describe things. Overall, typical I'm so fine, pussy so wet type jam. But I still thought it was interesting. My favorite lyrics were from Too Bad, even if I go vegan, I'm still getting to the chicken. And then bitches want to ride a wave like a nigga do-rag. I thought that was clever. And then from You Are Not Alone, haters throwing shots but ain't got enough ammo. And then the last one is from Found You. It says, can't sell in this pussy with a boat. You need a yacht. A yacht. Yep, nope. I don't know niggas' names. I call them boo. I don't save numbers till they send a mill or two. Heard that. But anyway, my overall opinion, this album was not very good to me at all. I feel like Kim was trying to keep up with today's rappers instead of her. But she was also super late to the auto-tune trend, which was like earlier, mid 2000s, and now it's like, that was like 2 years ago, and she's trying to use all this auto-tune now. So I thought it was closer to what was happening to when her last album came out, and now she was trying to do it now. And like, they mentioned AP watches so much. I get it, rich people love AP watches, but how many times are you gonna mention you got an AP watch? Are there any other watch brands out there for rich people? I would like to know. I would like to hear about the other brands, because I heard about AP so many times. And I'm not usually, you know, I'm not really into designer things that aren't like black owned, because these designers don't care about us. So, but you know, if people want to brag about their Chanel, their Dolce & Gabbana, their Gucci, it's whatever. But it was like overkill with AP watches. And I was really disappointed. And it didn't really sound like true to Kim, because she started all these music trends and then she ended up following the music trends instead now. And the songs I did like, it wasn't like I was in love with them. And this being her shortest album, which surprised me. I still thought that there was more that could have been said, even though I'm complaining about the hour and 13-minute song album. But I still feel like if you're gonna make a shorter album, I feel like the tracks should have came harder. Because I get it, it's 9 tracks, it's 9. That is good. But also, it just left much to be desired. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Because she really dropped the ball on this one. And she's supposed to make a second part of this, and I hope it's much better. But I feel like she's trying to chase the trends instead of making new trends. I mean, rap has been, what, 40 years now from the 70s. I always think the 70s is 30 years ago, but it's not. 40-ish years. But yeah, so. Okay, so I did, my poem is based off of Foundry featuring City Girls and OT Genesis. It's called Hot Boys Wanted. This hot girl needs a hot boy with no limit on how you can satisfy me. So that's all my review for Lil Kim's discography. So number 1 would be Hardcore, then La Bella Mafia, Notorious K.I.M., The Naked Truth, and last would be 9. So yeah, I just reviewed only the main albums, no mixtapes, no nothing, because it's a lot. It would be a lot. But yeah, have you listened to all of Lil Kim's albums? Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you disagree with my rankings, or would you change some things around? Let me know. All right. I don't know if I'm making music related video next week, because I'm like, I kind of take a break from reviewing albums and stuff. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week.